Prepared to take on the billionaire class?
Mr. Speaker, it is no secret that the President of the United States and the United States Congress do not represent the needs of ordinary Americans. And one of the major reasons for that is that we have an approach to campaign financing which, to a very large degree, allows wealthy people and major corporations to buy and sell politicians. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and ordinary Americans are shut out of the political system.
We need to move to public funding of elections.
Look, it's not a small little issue, campaign finance reform. It's not like, oh, well, look, I have strong feelings about war, which makes sense, or I have strong feelings about the environment, which makes sense. This is about our democracy. So your opinions on war, taxes, all that stuff is irrelevant if you don't live in a democracy. If you live in an oligarchy, they don't give a damn about your opinions on those issues anyway. There's only one issue. Who controls our politicians? And if you do private financing of elections, you will have the people who gave those large donations who control our politicians. But now some Princeton researchers, Martin Gillens and Benjamin Page, actually went back and did a study on this issue. They studied 1,779 different policy initiatives between 1981 and 2002. And then they published in Perspectives on Politics, a very respected journal. It's called Testing Theories of American Politics. So let's talk about how they did it. They said they then compared those policy changes, the ones that they studied, with the expressed opinion of the United States public, comparing the preference of the average American at the 50th percentile of income to what those Americans at the 90th percentile preferred, as well as the opinions of major lobbying or business groups. So now this is a really interesting way of doing it. They take an issue, they see which way did it go in the voting, right? And then they say, all right, at the time, what was the public opinion poll on the 50th percentile? And then the top 10%, and then lobbyists and business groups. I'm on pins and needles as I'm reading the beginning of this story to see how it turned out. Well, I have bad news for you guys. Quote, the preferences of the average American appear to have only a minuscule, near zero, statistically non-significant impact upon public policy. An oligarchy is a system where power is effectively wielded by a small number of individuals, defined by their status called oligarchs. Members of the oligarchy are the rich, the well-connected, and the politically powerful, as well as particularly well-placed individuals in institutions like banking and finance or the military. Now, usually, Russia is referred to as an oligarchy, and a lot of other countries that are run by a small set of elites are referred to as an oligarchy, but almost never the United States.
Our Supreme Court has now said, unlimited money in politics. It seems a violation of principles of democracy. In the minute or so we have left, your thoughts on that?
It violates the essence of what made America a great country in its political system. Now it's just an oligarchy with unlimited political bribery being the essence of getting the nominations for president or the elected president. And the same thing applies to governors and U.S. senators and Congress members. So now we've just seen a complete subversion of our political system as a payoff to major contributors.
I support Bernie Sanders because we need a government that supports middle-class working Americans instead of the wealthy billionaires. Simple as that.
Of any issue that I hope we bring people from all political persuasions about. I don't care if you're a conservative or a progressive or whatever you may be. We have got to fight to defend American democracy and not allow billionaires to take it over.
I am prepared to take on the billionaire class.
Senator Bernie Sanders, independent senator from Vermont. Last year, he introduced a constitutional amendment to overturn the Citizens United ruling that allowed unrestricted secret campaign spending.
We need to move to public funding of elections. These people, Amy, have billions of dollars. The Koch brothers are worth $80 billion. For them to plop a few $1 billion into the political process, for Sheldon Adelson to call prospective Republican nominees for the presidency to come before him, to hear what they have to say, so maybe he can anoint them with his hundreds of millions of dollars is just an outrage to the struggles that people have undertaken in this country for a democracy. If you go up to the average person and say, guess what? We have given you more freedom. Previously, you could only spend $125,000 in direct contributions to candidates. Now you have the freedom to spend $4 or $5 million. People will look at you like you are crazy. This is freedom for a handful of the wealthiest people in this country to undermine American democracy and to buy elections. That is, to my mind, not what democracy is supposed to be about. And let me add this, Amy, because I think a lot of people, who have concerns about the economy, healthcare, the environment, they say, well, this is really not all that important. They're wrong. Understand what these folks want. Most of the people who are contributing, the billionaires who are contributing into the political process. Take a look at what the Koch brothers' agenda is about. It